The Catherian War Council stood in their obsidian chamber, mandibles clicking with anticipation. Their greatest champion, Vextar the Destroyer, towered before them, 12 feet of chitinous armor, razor-sharp claws, and muscles that could crush starship hulls. Centuries of genetic modification and combat stimulants had transformed him into the perfect killing machine. "The human delegation arrives soon," hissed High Commander Zekthul, her compound eyes gleaming. "They dare to negotiate on equal terms. With us. We shall demonstrate why the Catherian Empire brooks no equals." Vexitar's mandibles spread in what passed for a grin among his species. "I will tear their champion limb from limb, Commander. The galaxy will know that humans are nothing before Catherian might." The delegation chamber doors hissed open, and 3 figures entered. The Catherians expected to see hulking warriors in powered armor, weapons bristling from every surface. Instead, they saw a middle-aged woman in a simple blue uniform, flanked by 2 equally unremarkable humans. The woman stepped forward, extending her hand in the peculiar human greeting gesture. "Ambassador Sarah Chen, representing the Terran Federation. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting." Zekthul recoiled from the offered hand as if it carried plague. "We did not agree to meet as equals, human. We agreed to demonstrate your inferiority before we consume your worlds." Sarah's expression remained calm, though her companions shifted nervously. "I see. And how do you propose to demonstrate this?" "Trial by combat," Zekthul declared, gesturing to Vexitar. "Your champion against ours. When your warrior lies broken and bleeding, you will surrender your colonies to us unconditionally." Sarah glanced at Vextar, taking in his imposing form with the practiced eye of someone who'd seen her share of alien warriors. The creature's bioluminescent patches pulsed, with barely contained aggression, and his claws left gouges in the metal floor with each step. "Interesting," she said, pulling out a small communication device. "And if our champion wins?" Zekthul's laughter was like grinding glass. "Impossible. But should such a miracle occur, we will consider your territory claims legitimate." "Fair. Enough." Sarah turned to her companions. "Marcus, Jennifer, please step back. This might get a bit chaotic." The 2 humans retreated to the chamber's edge, leaving Sarah alone in the center. She raised the communication device to her lips. Vextar crouched, ready to spring. His enhanced muscles coiled like loaded springs, combat stimulants flooding his system. He had killed hundreds of opponents in ritual combat. This small, soft creature would be torn apart before she could even scream. Sarah pressed a button on her device and spoke a single word. "Luna." Then she did something that puzzled the Catherians. She pursed her lips and whistled. It was a melodic, trilling sound that seemed absurdly cheerful given the circumstances. The Catherians looked at each other in confusion. Was this some human battle cry? Some primitive attempt at intimidation? Vextar grew tired of waiting. With a roar that shook the chamber walls, he launched himself forward, claws extended to rend flesh from bone. The floor exploded. What erupted from beneath was something that defied the Catherians' understanding of biology. It was massive, easily dwarfing Vextar, with midnight black fur that seemed to absorb light itself. Golden eyes blazed with ancient intelligence, and when it opened its maw, rows of teeth longer than Catherian claws gleamed like polished ivory. The creature moved with impossible grace for something so large, intercepting Vextar mid-leap. The collision sent shockwaves through the chamber. Vextar's claws, capable of slicing through battle armor, skittered harmlessly off the beast's hide. "Good girl, Luna," Sarah said affectionately, as if addressing a beloved pet rather than a monster that could level city blocks. "Easy now. He's smaller than your usual playmates. The wolf, for that's what it was, though evolved far beyond anything that had ever walked ancient Earth, held Vextar pinned with one massive paw. The Catherian warrior, pride of his species, struggled uselessly beneath her weight. "Impossible," Zekthul whispered. "What manner of creature is this?" Sarah scratched behind Luna's ear, and the massive predator's tail actually wagged, nearly demolishing a support pillar. "Oh, she's a Terran Grey Wolf. Well, the Mark 7 version anyway. We've been working together for about 3 years now." "Working together?" Zekthul's voice cracked. "Luna here is a rescue," Sarah explained conversationally while the wolf maintained her gentle but implacable grip on Vextar. "Her pack was displaced when we terraformed Kepler 442b. Rather than relocate them, we decided to enhance the relationship. Luna volunteered for the Uplift program. The ambassador reached into her uniform and produced what looked like a simple leather ball. Luna's massive head turned toward it immediately, her tail wagging harder. The thing about humans," Sarah continued, "is that we don't create perfect killing machines. We make friends with them." She threw the ball across the chamber. Luna immediately released Vextar and bounded after the ball like an overgrown puppy, her massive form moving with surprising delicacy around the chamber's fixtures. She caught it and returned to Sarah, dropping it at her feet with a satisfied rumble. Vextar lay where Luna had left him, staring at the ceiling in shock. His perfect warrior conditioning had been overwhelmed not by a superior predator, but by what was essentially a cosmic pet playing fetch. "You see," Sarah said, giving Luna another scratch, "humans don't conquer the galaxy's apex predators. We domesticated our own 20,000 years ago, and we've been improving the partnership ever since. Luna here has the loyalty of a golden retriever, the intelligence of a human child, and the combat effectiveness of a main battle tank." She looked directly at Zekthul. "And she's just one of my pack." The High Commander's compound eyes darted to Sarah's communication device, suddenly, understanding the implications. "How many?" Sarah smiled, the expression that now seemed far more predatory than anything Vextar had managed. "Let's just say that humans never go anywhere without their dogs. And in space, we found it's better to bring bigger dogs." As if summoned by her words, a low howl echoed from somewhere in the station's superstructure. Then another, and another. The Catherian Empire's first contact with humanity ended not with conquest, but with the galaxy's most feared warrior civilization, learning why humans had never needed to become perfect predators themselves. They had simply befriended better ones. Vextar finally struggled to his feet, his pride more wounded than his body. Luna watched him with mild interest, the ball still in her mouth. "So," Sarah said pleasantly, "shall we discuss those territorial negotiations?"